Welcome to Mana Drain. This is episode 40. I'm Mox Born again, flying solo, but we've got a pretty good show planned for you guys here. Just getting everything lined up on the stream here. The Mana Drain's a podcast that we talk about Magic the Gathering. We talk about some new cards that are coming out. We don't discuss every card that's new one that's coming out. We do our own individual shows for that, which will be posting on later on tonight or this morning, rather, seeing how it's 12:30 in the morning. Holy smokes. But we're going to talk about some Magic the Gathering stuff, and we've got a whole list of things to talk about. Make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/72DPI online. Get subscribed, leave us a comment, tell us what you like about the channel. We've got a whole bunch of different content on there, ranging from Magic the Gathering to video games, tabletop, stuff like that. We do streaming. Similar to tomorrow, we are going to be doing some more streaming with the good old Spyro old school PlayStation game there. I think we're going to be doing one more round of that. We've got quite a few of those up on the YouTube channel. So make sure you head over there, leave us a comment, tell us what you like, tell us what you'd like us to see. We're going to be switching that's the 8-bit game here in the next couple episodes. So make sure you get which type of game you like us to stream next. But for today, episode 40 on the Mana Drain, we're going to be talking about a couple different things. First up, we're going to talk about Jace's signature spellbook. Jace's signature spellbook. We're going to talk about that first. Then we're going to talk about a new format that was created by Wizards employees called Brawl. We're talking a little bit about that, not a lot. And then we're going to talk about the news topic of the weekend, of the day, and that is the Handshake. The Handshake. If you're part of the Magic community, you've probably already heard it to death. But we're going to talk about it a little bit here, just because it's a hot topic. It's a hot button item. We need to talk about it. Like I said, we're streaming to Twitch. We've got Xbox Live going with Mixer, and we also have Facebook Live. So if you're watching on one of those three streams, really do appreciate you. Leave us a comment. I'll go ahead and pull your comment into the conversation. If you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/72DPI online in the future. Really do appreciate it. Make sure you kind of cross-reference, and you can watch our shows live every Monday morning. Well, Monday night, rather. Tuesday morning at this point. On twitch.tv/72DPI online. So if you'd like to join in the conversation, that's how you can do that. So let's jump right in. I'm kind of excited about this. Let's see here, see if this works. Oh, yeah, there it is. All right, so this is the new product that Wizards announced last week. We didn't get a chance to talk about it last week because a lot of stuff happened last week and the week before. Kind of set off a lot of different things as far as the shows are concerned. So we're going to talk about those on Wednesday's podcast because that gets a little more personal. But I wanted to talk about this because I believe this is a really good product. I think Wizards has a really good thing going here. So this is effectively what's going to replace the From the Vault series. From the Vault was a highly regarded product, supplemental product that Wizards would put out once a year. Usually had a theme around it. Like it was either a creature theme or a type of spell or an artifact theme or a land theme or whatever the case may be. And you'd get like this set of like foil alternate art. Really nice looking cards. Obviously, if you left them in the case, they're good to go. Once you open it up, that's when the curling started. But nevertheless, it was a highly regarded product because it was for WPN stores only. And it was extremely expensive because the cards that they picked to put in these things were super expensive, very very low print runs as far as like prior to the From the Vault series, and then they started to kind of peter off towards the end there, and they finally discontinued the series because they probably ran out of ideas, and they weren't, they were seeing like a decline in sales, and the perception of them wasn't very good towards the tail end there, and rightfully so. A lot of people kind of got hip to the whole, well, we're buying this premium item, and it's not being printed, on premium card stock. It's they're curling while they're in the box. You don't even get a chance to play with them. And even if you take them out of the box and double sleeve them, triple sleeve them, throw them in your binder, they're still gonna be curling. And this is something Wizards has a problem with in all their cards, but the From the Vault series was notorious for its crappy printing. So hopefully this is a little bit better as far as quality goes. The MSRP on this is significantly less than what the MSRP on the From the Vault series was. So let's kind of get into this a little bit. So these are the signature spell books, and the first one that Wizards is going to be releasing is called Jace. So this is kind of like what you would expect from, let's see here. Wonder, does it tell me when it's going to be released? Okay. Oh yeah, it's right there. June 15th, 2018. So this is going to, basically they're going to outline different planeswalkers, right? So the first one's Jace. This is probably the most popular of all the planeswalkers, at least the widely known. This is kind of like the face of Magic, so it would make sense that they would start off with him. And he's probably one of the most iconic planeswalkers in the set, or in the series, in the game rather. He is the blue mage, right? You can't think of any other mage, blue mage, and not think of Jace. So this, for better for worse, this could, harm future blue signature spellbooks, or it might just set the bar, and it might force Wizards to actually look at what else needs to be printed. I don't believe in here. It's the signature collection of 8 cards plus 1 random premium foil version of one of those 8 cards for a serious blue mage. For the serious blue mage, each card has a Jace flavored art and special frames just for this set. Check out the packaging. 8 cards below. So you're getting 8 cards plus 1 of any of the 8 in foil, I believe, if I read that correctly, right? Jace is the collection of 8 cards plus 1. So yeah, so you're getting 9 cards in this set right here. 9 cards. One of them is going to be foil. So you do have the opportunity to open it up. The 2 of these, you will open up 2 of one of these cards. One of them being foil, one of them not. So let's kind of jump into the cards themselves. Like I said, like it said above, there's 8 cards in this set, so you're guaranteed to get all 8 of these, and then one of them you'll get is random, will be an additional foil one. So Jace Beleren is the baby Jace, well, before Vin's Prodigy. But this is the Planeswalker, 3 loyalty. You've got 1 generic, 2 blue. It starts at, or it's +2 is each player draws a card, -1 target player draws a card, and then -10 target player puts the top 20 cards from their library into their graveyard. Very interesting. The actual outline of the card is completely different than any other Magic card we've seen. We're starting to see this in the Dominaria release, as far as like this kind of like outline, up here for down here, it goes up here for the new legendary creature. So it's interesting to see them start playing with the different frames of the card, right? They're leaving the proper Magic sets, as close to the originals as possible, with doing some flair here and there for special cards. But this is completely different. Like the logo, or the mana cost is all white, which is fantastic. I really enjoy that. White text is really pretty. The logo, the set symbol, it looks like it's going to be the same thing for all of them. Like this little, like, I don't know what you want to call this. Like, it looks like an arrow almost. But it's got the Jace logo inside of that. So imagine that's going to be what it looks like from here on out. We'll see. This kind of has a Jace-esque feel to it. So I wonder if this will change for each of the planeswalkers. I don't know. We'll see. So you got Jace Beleren. You got blue elemental blast, which is 1 blue. Choose 1. Counter target red spell. Destroy target red permanent. You've got Brainstorm for 1 blue. Draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Then you've got Counterspell. I love this. I love this art. That is amazing. You got 2 blue, counter target spell. Gifts Ungiven, 3 generic, 1 blue. Search your library for up to 4 cards with different names. Reveal them. Target opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest into your hand. Then shuffle your library. It's nice. It's at instant speed. Mystic Tutor, 1 blue instant. Search your library for an instant or sorcery card. Reveal that card. Shuffle your library. Put that card on top of it. Negate, counter target non-creature spell for 1 blue, 1 generic. Threads of Disloyalty, 2 blue, 1 generic. It's an aura. Enchant creature with the converted mana cost 2 or less. You control enchanted creature. So there's the 8 cards, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's all 8 cards that are included in the Jace Spellbook. Now the MSRP for this is $19.99, right? And it's only being sent out to WPN stores, which is like these are Wizard stores that run sanctioned events, your Friday Night Magics and things like that. So this is a way to give back to the local game store, which is great. I can get behind that. That's the one thing. This is one of the things that's really strong about this set. A, it's for WPN stores. B, it's $19.99, which is fantastic price for people that are wanting to collect these. I foresee people ordering 4 of them just so they're guaranteed to get a playset of the card that they're looking for. Maybe they want all of them. Who knows? But this is something for collectors. This is something you can put on your shelf as a collector, and I don't know if it'll necessarily go up in value. From the vaults, there's a few of them that kind of go up in price, but the caveat to that is that the stores were selling them for significantly higher than MSRP. In some cases, you found them online for almost double what they were going for in the stores. So I don't expect the same thing to happen here because there is a limit to what these cards are worth online. So like Jace Beleren sitting right around $7 to $8 range, and then Gifts Ungiven's right around the $7 to $8 range, and then Mystic Tutor is right around the $8 range. Everything else is less than $1. So you're only looking at less than probably about $30 worth of cards in this stack. And of course, the closer we get to this this June 15th release date, the more settled the prices will become. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see where it goes from there. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. I'm going to pick up at least one of these for my shelf. I don't necessarily play with any of these cards, but this is something that I would like to have as a collector. I've played as a negate, but I have full art negates, so I don't need 4 more of those. This is fantastic. One of the things that I'm hoping for, and we don't know yet, is what this looks like when they open it, right? It would be great if it kind of unfolded and all 8 cards were displayed for you, right? That would be nice. That would be like the coup de grace for this signature set. The other cool thing that this kind of set off in the social aspect was everybody creating their signature spell book. And that's something that I didn't take part in it, but I saw it. I saw the threads. I saw the different posts on Twitter, on Reddit, and that's something I was like, wow, the community is getting behind this product, and that really makes me happy. That makes me happy. That makes me feel good about it. I think it's a good decision on Wizards' part, even with this garbage logo right here. God. But at any rate, still a good product. I hope they don't use the From the Vault printing, please. That will be one thing that screws this over is the printing process. So we'll see how it goes. Looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm going to pick up one, at least one for sure. And then depending on, pricing and things like that, if they stay at the $19 range, or if you can pick them up for the $19 range, then, maybe I'll pick up a couple more just to, to round out the collection there. Let's see here. So let's talk about Brawl real quick. So this is a new format that Wizards came up with. Wizards employees. Let's see here. MTG Brawl. And what the interesting thing is I'm not an EDH player. This is kind of like a standard EDH game, or format rather. It works very, very similar to Commander or EDH, whichever you call it, where you gotta have your commander, right? It's got to be a legendary creature, or in this instance, in this format, since it's you can use a planeswalker. And one of the reasons why they did that was because there's not a lot of legendary creatures to pick from in Standard right now. So, I mean, obviously with Dominaria coming out, there's going to be quite a few more, but this just gives you more variety if you add the Planeswalker. It has like, what, a couple dozen Planeswalkers in Standard right now. But you get to choose a Planeswalker or a Legendary as your commander, and it's just like EDH and Commander, where it sits in the command zone and you can play it, as soon as you can cast it, and then when it dies, it goes back to your command zone. And if you want to play it again, it costs 2 colorless more each time you play it. So if you play it 4 times, it's going to cost you 8 mana more. Excuse me. And so on and so forth. We talked about you start at 30 life. This is a 60 card format. So singleton, so you can only have 1 copy of each card. The only cards that are banned are the ones that are banned in Standard. So there's that. And your commander is your 60th card. So you'll have your commander and then 59 in your actual library. And basically it's just a rotating pool, just like Standard. And, this, for me, this is nice because it makes the packs that you buy worth just a little bit more, right? So you pull like that jank, rare, legendary creature, and now it's like it might be worth maybe $2 or $3 because it's played in this Brawl format, right? So more formats is always better. It's always great to include, ways to make these cards worth more, or naturally inflate the price. It just makes the packs worth more. And if the format doesn't pan out, see what was Frontier or Tiny Leaders or whatever, then that's fine, but at least we're trying something new, and this gives opportunity for some of those what normally would be called draft cards or commander cards in Standard, where they wouldn't find a home because there's something better in Modern, Legacy, or Vintage. Now those cards are actually going to find a home and not just be draft cards. So it's bringing more cards into the fold. It's bringing more cards into other formats. I'm liking it. I haven't played. I think I've played maybe 1 Commander game, but I can get behind this because at this point I have a lot more Standard sets or close to Standard sets versus my old cards. So this will give you opportunity when you open up cards, when you buy that box when the set comes out, and you draft it or whatever the case may be, and you can use more of those cards. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna go down to my local game store, see if they've got any leagues or anything like that for this, and see if I can't join one. If not, I'm gonna start one. So looking forward to it. There are 2 looming issues that I don't think that they're gonna be able to fix right away. We already talked about one. The legendary creature options are pretty limiting, although Dominaria will bring more in. So I'm kind of curious if this takes off, if that will spark more legendary creatures. I hope not. I hope we don't just get like a flood of legendary creatures just for the sake of it, only because that has a negative impact on the traditional standard, and the fact that a legendary creature is less likely to see like a playset of because it's in fact legendary. So we'll see. Again, Wizards is notorious for trying to, make one thing please a lot of people. So I hopefully this doesn't impact our actual standard meta games and things like that in the releases, as much as Commander has impacted, not in a negative way, but you have to admit that Commander and Draft in that sense have almost a larger impact on design and development than Standard, Legacy, Modern, and those Eternal formats do. Clearly, you can tell that Wizards designs cards for Draft and Commander, so because that's the formats they enjoy playing the most. So of course they're going to design for that stuff. I'm not, you can't knock that, right? Design games that you'd want to play. So the only other issue, and if you see this as an issue, is that there is a standard rotation, so your cards aren't going to be good in the format forever, right? So at the end of the day, I think it's a good thing because it'll force more cards to be worth more, which increases the expected value of each pack of Magic cards going forward. So always a good thing. All right, now we get into the spicy stuff. We're going to talk about the there we go. We're going to talk about the dreaded Handshake. Yes, the Handshake. This past weekend there was a tournament, SCG tournament in Cincinnati. It was Team Modern. This is where you have two teammates playing alongside you, and you kind of communicate between the three of you, and you help each other out. You can look at each other's hands. You can make recommendations, but all three of you are effectively playing a game of Magic with the team across the table. So something that happened at this event, I'm gonna butcher his last name, Samuel Birkenbull, and he was playing against Ben Nikolic. And it's interesting because this usually after a game, for those of you that don't play Magic, after the game's over, no matter who wins or who loses, usually the players shake hands. Now, traditionally, the person that lost the match will extend the hand. Usually, when they're when they're conceding, they'll scoop their cards up, or they'll extend their hand and then scoop their cards up. That's traditionally what happens, right? But this at this event, in this particular instance, the winner, after the player scooped the losing player scooped their cards, he extended his hand, and the gentleman, Samuel, said no thanks, and kind of caught Ben, almost caught him off guard, like, okay, WTF. So then he pulled back and started fixing his cards or whatever, and then he extended his hand again, and Sam again refused to shake the guy's hand. And I was shocked. I'm like, really? Like, come on. Like, we're both adults here. Like, shake the dude's hand. It was a good game. Like, you had a bad matchup. Like, you're both adults. And the reason why I wanted to kind of get into this, and we can actually, they've since scrubbed the actual video off of Reddit, but I was able to find this video from another YouTube channel that has it on here. So we're going to go ahead and play this real quick, and I'll show you what I'm... So Ben is on the left here, and Samuel's on the right. So you'll see, Ben's got looks like some type of planeswalker out. He's playing... looks like he's playing Jeskai Control, and then Sam's playing Humans. Now, kind of to set this up, I mean, Jeskai Control is a tough matchup for Humans, only because your Humans deck has very small creatures. They do a lot. Like, they're very powerful, but their defense is not very strong. And in Jeskai Control, you're dealing with a partly red mage, and they're dealing instant damage and things like that, controlling the board. They've got counter spells, and they've got, different ways to deal with smaller creatures at the drop of a hat. And it looks like Ben's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana here. So that's enough to kind of capitalize on anything. It looks like Sam's got 4, and looks like the game almost like just got started. I'm not sure what. Okay, yeah. So it looks like Ben's up 1 to 0. So anyway, let's kind of watch this as this kind of unfolds. So you see Sam scoops up, and then Ben gives him his hand out. He's like, nope, okay, and then he does it again, and you see Ben's teammate shake his hand, and like they shake, and it's like, come on, like, yeah, you had a bad match, but you're an adult. Like, start adulting. The sad part is this is something that I believe is more of an age thing, right? And there's a little bit of discrepancy here, and I'll explain. So Ben's in his mid-20s. This gentleman right here is in his mid-20s, and this gentleman right here is in his early 20s. So clearly these are younger players, right? And when I was growing up, and when I was in Little League and played basketball and things like that, and any type of sports, anything, you always, at the end of the game, you always shook hands. You always, everybody lined up, and you went, in basketball, you lined up and you went down the foul, or down the, the out of bounds line towards the other team's bench, and you shook hands or whatever in good game. Whether you won or lost, whether, you were the worst team and they were the best team, whatever the case may be, you practiced every day leading up to the game, and, you gave everything you had on the court or on the field in the game. You gave everything you had to win the game. And if you lost, you understood, all right, the better team won, or I didn't play my best, or something happened, our best player got injured, or whatever the case may be. You understood that going into this match, there was going to be a winner and there was going to be a loser. And I think with today's youth, we're kind of, and I know these guys aren't considered youths at this point, but being born in the 90s and getting into sporting events and things like that in the 2000s, like, everybody gets a trophy, right? Everybody's a winner. There are no losers, and I think this is a direct result of that. Is people get in their feelings about, oh my God, I'm better than that player. I can't believe I lost. Like, I'm not shaking his hand. Get the fuck out of here. Like, and the reason why I say that is because Sam came out with another video maybe a few hours later after he got torn to shreds on Reddit and on Twitter. And he was driving, of all things, with his phone like propped up in between where his speedometer is, and he was basically vlogging while he was driving. That's incredibly dangerous. But beside the point, he was talking about, the matchup, and he's like, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to shake his hand. And he tried to like justify it by saying, "Oh, well, I don't just shake hands just to shake hands. I want to make sure I mean it." Like, dude, the salt is strong with you. Like, seriously. Like, get over yourself, shake the man's hand, and move on, right? The fact that you're saying, like, I just couldn't bring myself to do it, like, you knew full well going into this matchup, going into this tournament, stepping foot into this event, that you were going to either win matches or lose matches. And when you sit down at this table, you understand that you're going to win the match, or lose the match. And it's unfortunate that you felt like you couldn't, bring yourself to shake the gentleman's hand, but at the end of the day, you just need to man up. That's all it needs. That's all it needs to happen. There are no participation trophies. You just need to man up. That's all there is to it. So, at the end of the day, is it unfortunate that it had to come to this? It is. It really is, because, like I said, in today's world, you're no longer, there are no winners, or excuse me, there are no more losers. There are only participants, right? If you win, you get a slightly bigger trophy, but if you participate, you still get a trophy, or you still get a medal, or something like that. Then kids need to learn how to lose. They need to learn how to lose with dignity, and they need to learn how to respect their opponent, right? You may not think that he's a better player, but he won this match. He won the 2 matches that counted, right? So you may feel that you're a better player, and you very well could be a better player. But in this instance, the cards fell in his favor. He played the cards right. And it's in Magic, it's not 100% skill. There is luck involved, right? Vice versa. A sporting event, like a physical sporting event, like basketball or football or whatever, there is some luck to that, but it's also about who trained harder, who has the stronger team, who has the better blocking for basketball or for football, who has the stronger defense in basketball and in football. A lot of those things, kind of interweave and create opportunity. Magic, it's all about playing the cards that you're dealt. So there is a lot more variance involved. So you have to understand that, and you have to be able to, process that. And that's one of the things he said. He's like, well, I just couldn't process the loss, and I was really salty. And someone accused him of like cussing at Ben or whatever, and he said that's not the case. I didn't cuss at him at that point. I leaned over to my teammate and said I'm screwed AF, blah blah blah. I'm done, blah blah blah. And at the end of the day, the game's over. You scooped up your cards, shake the gentleman's hand, say thank you for a good game, good luck going forward. This was 3/4 of the way through the event. Just do what you gotta do. So anyway, guys, so that was the today's episode, this week's episode of Managing. Really do appreciate you watching. Make sure you head over to youtube.com/72DPI online. Get subscribed, leave us a comment in the notes below. Tell us what you liked about the episode. Tell me if you're gonna buy the Jace signature spellbook or not, if you're enjoying the new artwork and all that stuff in that set. And then, let me know about Brawl. I'm kind of curious. Like I said, I haven't played EDH before. I've got a very old black EDH deck with Volrath, the Fallen, one of my favorite cards growing up. It's a garbage EDH deck. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about the new format? What is going to be your commander? Make some suggestions for myself. And I kind of want to look into that. So thanks for watching. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be playing some more Spyro on 8-bit. So make sure you head over to youtube.com/72DPI for that, as well as twitch.tv/72DPI online for the stream tomorrow. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great evening, and I will see you next week.